I think him going down to see Robyn is tearing us apart a bit.
I know it would be complicated. I didn't know it would break my heart.
I don't want to do this. I'm comfortable with Janelle and Christy.
Here we go, guys. Season 1, episodes 3 and 4 are when I first start to develop justified resentment towards Kody Brown.
For 16 years, we've had 3 moms and a dad. Children have never been in the culture of fiance, girlfriend.
I can't even imagine how Christine ultimately felt about the events discussed in these 2 episodes.
I just want it to go smooth.
But interestingly enough, it's also the time in which I felt the most empathy towards Robyn. Beginning, she really came off as quite an innocent and needy new addition to the family who desperately wanted to be part of the Browns.
All right, well, it's done.
Episode 3 is when Kody becomes formally engaged to Robyn. All of the kids and the moms are reacting to the new changes in the family.
Kody and Robyn, they got engaged and everything, and I thought, oh, that's nice, they're engaged now, so now it's more official. Like a month later, I found out that Kody sealed the engagement with a kiss, and I freaked.
There's a lot of emotions flying around here, guys, but the most interesting emotions of all for me are how the individual kids feel about welcoming Robyn, who's only like a few years older than some of the teenagers, into the family.
When we had just come home from Wyoming, we walked in the door and all of a sudden there was this person. My mom was like, oh, just to warn you guys, Dad has a friend over.
Madison goes, who's that? And I said, well, that's Robyn.
And then we found out she was single.
What's the age that she's turning?
30. Oh, really? She's like 30? Wow. I gotta say, she's young. Ooh, she could be my sister.
We really get an inside look at how the older teenage girls are feeling because disgusting Kody Brown asks his older female children to plan a birthday party for his new wife.
Oh, and her birthday's coming up in a week, and I'm trying to get the girls to plan a birthday party for her.
Lasagna, okay, and giant chocolate cake and ice cream.
Once again, Kody doesn't have the time, energy, or thoughtfulness to create something himself for Robyn, but he uses his kids as an instrument with which he can be romantic, loving, and do something special for his new wife. I think it's kind of funny that we quickly see how Mariah wants to be in control of the party planning. She butts heads a little bit with Madison, who is Janelle's oldest daughter.
Well, I think we should do feasting. Cute feasting? This is a normal birthday party. Not an over the extreme, have tons of friends over, face paint their faces.
It's fun.
I met Robyn.
And she wants to make it a face painting party. I guess this is something they were into back then. I have to say I personally love face painting, and I give my kids like face painting sticks all the time so that I can fall asleep on the couch and just wake up when they're done, doing amazing things to my face. Okay, Madison. From my point of view watching this episode, Madison seems accepting of Robyn, but also a little put off by it. Overall, it seems like the kids are kind of like, this is how it's going to be, so whatever. But that deep down, they're sort of like, yeah, it's weird to have a woman come into our family who's only slightly older than we are.
When Kody asked me to marry and I said yes, he kissed me and I was like, all right, well, it's done.
But Kody thinks it's one big party for everyone.
Yeah, hurry.
I don't want to be kissing my girlfriend while my wife's in labor.
And isn't it great that his new wife, Robyn, has so much in common with his older teenage daughters?
Everybody talked about I was going to stick a nickname on her and it just became Birdie.
Madison, I love that girl to pieces. I absolutely love Madison. Sorry.
In episode 3, we also learn the history of Robyn's former marriage, as told by her, because looking back, we now know that there's a different story being told by her ex-husband's family.
Married before, and we were in a polygamous culture, but we never took on another wife. We were monogamous. It was a difficult marriage, and finally made the decision to, that we needed to end it.
But in this episode, Robyn comes off as like fairly genuine to me. At that time, back then, I thought that she was fairly genuine and in desperate need of finding a place, like a suitable, comfortable place to raise her 3 children who are very adorable in episodes 3 and 4.
And as much as I'm scared of all these unknowns, and it'll work out, it'll be okay.
And this is the first time we hear from Christine about her frustrations with the courtship between Robyn and Kody, as seen in the following clip.
Kody and Robyn, they got engaged and everything, and I thought, oh, that's nice, they're engaged now, so now it's more official. Like a month later, I found out that Kody sealed the engagement with a kiss.
Christine has certain standards she expects Kody to hold to that have to do with how she courted and the expectations of their religion.
And I freaked. We didn't kiss until over the altar, because I didn't feel right about kissing a married man. And so to me, the fact that he had kissed Robyn was devastating.
When I first watched this, and even now looking back on it, I fully fault Kody for this interaction between he and Robyn that made Christine feel so uncomfortable. And here's why. I believe that Robyn was in a difficult place.
Found out that Christine was upset. I remember being really upset because I knew I'd hurt you.
I think that she absolutely felt she needed to do everything she could to get into this family to seal the future for her children.
I knew it would be complicated, but I didn't know it would break my heart as well.
I think she followed Kody's lead. Whatever Kody wanted, she was going to do it. Whatever he asked for or expected from her, she was going to be there 100%. She already has one failed marriage under her belt. And what we know about this is Robyn had a history of dealing with a lot of debt. She had debt, 3 children. She was working kind of like a dead-end job, according to her. She had a child with some level of special needs, and I'm sure this was all incredibly stressful. On top of that, Robyn's family, being well entrenched in this AUB society, had an expectation that she would get married and a man would take care of her. So Robyn is probably feeling a ton of pressure to make this happen. I still believe that Robyn was quite manipulative and deceitful when it came to finding the perfect man, who ended up being Kody Brown, primarily because she knew he was getting a documentary on TLC. Poor Christine really doesn't understand how Kody is changing the way he does things for his courtship with Robyn. I think the reality is Kody never had a woman come to him so willing and ready and needy, absolutely committed to being there at his beck and call. I believe that Mary, Janelle, and Christine were all like more strong-minded women who didn't even necessarily feel that they needed Kody. We know that when Janelle wasn't happy, she was willing to leave the relationship for a period of time. Mary, she's kind of like very borderline, in my opinion, when it comes to being super dependent upon Kody, but there were other men she could have gotten involved with. None of the other wives came to Kody with a desperate need to find a man who was willing to take care of her children from a prior relationship. And I think this has a big influence on how Robyn interacts with Kody on a regular basis. In an effort to show that she's really contrite and she really cares about her sister wives, not just Kody, Robyn kind of has to put on a performance of like, I'm sorry, Christine, like it just happened and I didn't know, like what.
All right, well, it's done.
I mean, Robyn is in a difficult place, in my opinion. She wants to please the other wives so that she can be fully accepted into this family, and yet she knows that Kody is in charge of this, and she's got to make him feel like she will do anything for him. I'm sure she understands that there are other women around who also know that Kody is getting a TLC show. And if she isn't able to seal this relationship, there will be another girl who's very willing to step into her shoes.
I remember being really upset because I knew I'd hurt you. I knew it would be complicated, but I didn't know it would break my heart as well.
Looking at Janelle's face, I feel like from the beginning, she kind of was like, she knew that Robyn was going to be kind of a pain in her butt. Poor Janelle. I think Christine, of course, Mary was like fully on board with Robyn. I think Christine was more than willing and happy and excited about this new relationship that was going to be formed. But Janelle was kind of just sitting in the corner like, I don't know how this is going to work out. And we know that Janelle is very aware of their finances. I know it's later in the season that Janelle brings up, like, how are we going to feed all these people? We have another mortgage now. This is really difficult. But for now, she's got to sit on the couch next to Robyn and be like, poor sobbing Robyn. I'm so sorry you're having a hard time getting moved from where you live down here, us paying all your bills and helping you take care of your children. Okay, next we learn a little bit about what makes me kind of resentful in general regarding this episode. We learn that Christine had a very recent miscarriage. She miscarried a baby about a year before getting pregnant with Truly.
I had a miscarriage a little over a year ago, and I'm not sure that my body's okay. I'm not sure that everything is going to work like it should. I hemorrhaged and I passed out, and it was really horrible.
So that tells me that she probably had a lot of like hormonal things going on, was probably highly emotional. And I also think that the miscarriage, I'm sorry to say, I think it probably led Kody to start like getting the wheels turning in his head of like, she's not going to be able to have children anymore. I got to start thinking about getting another wife on board here.
I don't know if anything is even going to happen with the labor. I don't know. I just look at my age as a factor in that I just want it to go smooth.
It's like her purposes were done with. He was thinking, she's not going to be able to carry more children for me, so I've got to move on.
But I'm also thinking, another pregnancy, that would be so fun. Having kids with Robyn would be so fun.
Now Christine is 9 months pregnant and she's getting ready to give birth.
Oh, that's your heart. Someone tell you something about the heart. But it's right here. Got it.
The family seems excited. Even Robyn is kind of playing up to it like, oh, a new It's so exciting for me too. Kody attends like the ultrasounds and he's going to be present for the birth. I hope this wasn't just for the cameras, but Christina's like, yeah, Kody's a good dad and I'm glad that we're going to have this baby together. I don't know, maybe we'll have another one in 3 years. I'm just not sure. Oh, poor Christine. 3 years down the road, you're going to be realizing that this man is just not around helping with these kids.
So now I'm really indecisive. I'm looking at my age, I'm looking at 6 kids, and I'm thinking,
In the midst of all this, of course, Kody needs to go down and pick up Robyn and her family and all of her furniture and move it closer to his house in Lehigh. So he's decided to rent like a pretty nice little home for Robyn and her kids.
Really coming together as a real family.
You know, we've been looking at places, I've been looking for a job.
We actually started talking about months ago about having her just move into the house.
Robyn explains that she was definitely willing and thinking it could work to move into the Lehigh home. For sure, she was going to do it. But then she thought, like, I'm not really married to Kody. And in our standard of life, like, you cannot move into a man's home when he is already married and you're not married to him, you're just engaged.
We just had to process that all out. It wouldn't have worked very well.
We just can't do that. It's not cool. I'm not married to him, and so I can't be moving into his home. It's not proper. Duh.
Really, Robyn? Or was it because you were like, this home is not going to work for me? We also hear from Madison, who's basically like flat out talking about how she is never going to be involved in a polygamous relationship.
I don't mind it. My parents, it's their choice if they want to live polygamy, but my choice, I don't want to.
She is already, this is Janelle's oldest daughter, and she's like, no, I'm not into it. This isn't going to be for me.
I love my family, and I wouldn't want it any other way. But for me, just one guy. Yeah, I just want one. Me and you and him, huh? Yeah.
And we've got Robyn kind of sitting there on the couch beside her, like, so funny, Madison. I want you to have every choice to make your own decisions about your life, but you never know, girl.
You won't get to have cool people like me. She does not want to live this lifestyle, which is fine. You know, every child is going to have their choice, and we're going to support them and love them through all of it.
And of course, Robyn starts crying because she loves Madison so much.
Madison, I love that girl to pieces. I absolutely love Madison. Sorry.
Of course, because they're like close to the same age and probably like the same like TV shows and music, right? Okay, now here's where the empathy really comes into play for me. Moving into episode 4, we get to see Robyn's kids, and they're getting ready to move away from the home that they've been in with Robyn for a while, and they're going to move to Lehigh to live close to the Brown family. And we get like some close-ups of her eldest son, whom I think you guys know I absolutely love this kid, and I think he's so cute back then. And we also see like Brianna and Aurora running around. They're super adorable and they're being sweet. There's no denying that Robyn seems to care a lot about her kids and she wants the best life for them. I think she's hoping that this relationship with Kody is going to bring her more financial freedom, maybe even the ability to stay home with her kids, even though everyone else is under the impression that Robyn is like, I'm gonna work.
I've been looking for a job.
I'm gonna be a worker. Christine can keep staying home and I'll work. I'll get a job and bring in some money. We'll hear from Janelle later, not in these episodes, that she was like, I was under the impression she was gonna be getting a job and bringing in some income for us. Okay, when it's time for Christine to finally give birth to Truly, she decides she's going to do it in a hospital setting, and she hasn't had an epidural before, so this is like a big deal for her. We see that Kody is busy hanging out at Robyn's house.
When my water breaks, bam, I have the child just like that. Yeah, hurry.
I don't want to be kissing my girlfriend while my wife's in labor.
you know, giving Robyn some smooches before he can like arrive at the hospital and be with Christine. And he is there with her, and we get to see him like throughout the delivery. But it's clear that he's like, you know, let me know at the last minute when it's time for me to come. And then I'll show up. Then I'll leave Robyn behind and spend some time with you.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Push, 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 push. Oh, that's it. That's it. That's it. Are you breathing?
He is at the hospital with Christine prior to the labor when she's getting the epidural. He's with her. He's holding her hands and he's like looking in her eyes. It's a kind of Kody that I haven't seen with Christine in a very long time. I do think he's giving her like support and kindness. She seems really happy with what she's getting from him, and apparently probably has no idea that he was just at Robyn's house making out with her.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Hey, push, 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 push. Big push, big push, big push. That's it, that's it, that's it, that's it. Perfect. Push, 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 push. Oh, that's it, that's it, that's it. Wow, she's coming out.
Christine is ecstatic about the birth of Truly, and I thought it was funny that when Truly is first born, Kody does kind of catch her and hand her to Christine, but Christine, instead of immediately being like, Kody, our baby, she immediately says, Aspen, where's Aspen? Aspen, come here.
There you go. Oh my gosh. Aspen, where are you, honey? Right here. Just like you.
Her eldest daughter comes over. She's been kind of standing in the back, comes over to Christine and stands next to her and kind of looks at Truly. And, you know, Christine's talking to her and being like, look at Truly. She looks just like you. Aspen, take a look.
Just like you. Oh my gosh. You make me
Oh, here she goes.
Okay, I'm all for the epidural. So cool. So cute.
I found this interesting. Like, Christine already sort of had this relationship where Kody wasn't her number one go-to when it comes to emotional support. Like, he caught the baby, he handed it to her, his job is over. That's sort of the feeling I got from it. But anyway, it doesn't matter because Christine is ecstatic and everybody in the family is going to come and meet Truly. Robyn actually did babysitting.
So I ran over and grabbed Janelle's and Christine's kids and took them over to my house, and we had a party.
She babysat the younger kids, especially Christine's younger kids, while she was giving birth. I mean, it's really the least she could do, but she makes a big deal about it. You know, she's like, I got right in there. I took control and I took care of those kids.
Going from 3 kids to, 15, it's sort of overwhelming sometimes because I'm going, whoa, there's a lot here and there's a lot of needs here and that kind of thing. But
so, we've got to give Robyn a pat on the back for doing basic things that any friend would do. All the kids show up at the hospital and they meet Truly, and it's a great time. That's the end of episode 4. But I want to mention one more thing from the episode that I thought was hilarious. While Robyn is babysitting all of the younger kids, this includes Savannah, who's Janelle's youngest, and several of the kids from Christine. Robyn introduces us to this huge dollhouse that she has for her own girls, and she is so excited to have more girls to come over and play with it. Because again, Robyn's sort of like still stuck in her Disney princess era.
this dollhouse has been my dream forever since I was a little girl. And my dad made it, and I've been saving doll furniture since Brianna was a baby. And I first started hoping it was just my 2 girls, and now I got more girls, huh?
So she's excited that all these girls are here to play with her dollhouse. And then we find out how Robyn starts by indoctrinating her very young children from a super early age.
They have been fighting over the mommies, which mommies, because we have 4 mommy dolls and 1 daddy doll. And so they've been fighting over.
Because it turns out that the way Robyn has the whole thing set up is that there are 4 moms, 4 female Barbies that represent like the different moms in the family. They have like similar hairstyles. It's actually like their hair's been cut to sort of look like the mom. And there's 1 dad in the house.
Mary Kody's first wife. This is Robyn, my mommy.
We get to watch all of the children kind of simulating these relationships that they're seeing in their home with these Barbie dolls.
This is so fun to play. I'm just gonna play here, okay?
Which is like natural, you know, that's what they were brought up with.
We had the Kody doll, and they were fighting over who gets to play with that. And I said, you know how your dad gets to come to each one of the different houses and spend a little bit of time? You guys have to take turns with the daddy doll too.
But I just think it's funny that Robyn's like, yeah, the kids were fighting over Kody. Everyone wanted to be him because there's no other male dolls here. Like, there wasn't even the option. If poor Madison had been there, she would have no option to play out her, you know, desired lifestyle as a monogamous Barbie.
Good morning, Janelle. Good morning, Mary. I got my mom, but dad.
Only polygamous Barbies are allowed in Robyn's house. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. So we could talk about these super important episodes from season 1. Season 1 is by far my favorite season. I hope that you'll take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions or like disagreements with anything that I've said here. I want to hear your point of view because I like to highlight some of these subscriber comments in my videos, in my upcoming videos. I want to talk about them. And also I want to say that I'm really excited to get into the next episodes because it's only 6 weeks after Christine gives birth to Truly that she has to attend Robyn and Kody Brown's wedding. Can you believe it? 6 weeks postpartum, and she's got to show up at this wedding. I hope you'll join me again so that we can talk all about Robyn's marriage to Kody. Have a great night. I'll see you down my next rabbit hole.